purify the nation of Israel or the Levitical priests. They have to then, and again, this is from Numbers chapter 19, so go read it. Go read Numbers chapter 19. They sacrifice the red heifer, then they burn the red heifer, then the ashes from the red heifer are brought into the city and have to be shaken on, and the blood from the red heifer has to be shaken on the Levitical priests, and like there's a whole thing. And what that does is that uh, purifies the Levitical priests and by proxy the people of Israel. Then at that point they could get started building the third temple if they were able to.
But they can't because of the dome of the rock sits in the way. Come on.
Just sacrificing a cow on the Mount of Olives or anywhere else is not going to enable them to start rebuilding the temple. I mean, you understand this? There's a gigantic
Dome
mosque on top of the site of the second temple.
So you have to start
that would have to be
You got to start a war
first, if that's indeed the site of the temple. Now, again, some people are starting to believe, if you've read Bob Koenig's book, Temple, that perhaps the temple was actually somewhere else.
Starting to believe. So you don't know where the temple is, but you're about to build one on top of the mosque.
And the site that they're calling the Temple Mount actually was not the Temple Mount. Again, whatever, it could signify that they are ready to start building the third temple if they had a place to build it, if they had the wherewithal to build it. But just sacrificing a red cow someplace in around here is not necessarily going to bring that about.
Sounds like a whole bunch of confusion to me. This is why you're over and exterminating and genociding a whole people to recover this land, to steal this land, and then to use these sites to do your witchcraft is what you're doing. Okay? Because you're not the people. The way you're going about this, God is going to, pursuant to Isaiah 14, 1 on down, God is going to put his people in that land. And it tells us how it's going to happen. It's going to happen in a spectacular fashion, not after World War II, the Balfour Declaration, and what we see now. This is all madness. It's madness. Oh, well, we don't really know where the temple is. What do you really know? You don't really know anything because you're lying. Okay? And the expense is people are being killed all over this stuff that you guys are talking about, right? And none of it adds up to the truth. Okay? Even by your own admission, well, we don't really know if this is the temple or not. Well, is it the temple? Because if it is the temple, the Dome of the Rock is built on top of it, and you can't build no third temple with that Dome of the Rock being there. So you got to do what? You got to have a war. You got to knock that Dome of the Rock down. You know that. So stop pussyfooting around and do what the hell you think you got to do, because you ain't the people. There wouldn't be all of. Where is this Dome of the Rock fight? Where is that in the Bible? The same Bible that they're taking scriptures out of. You can't read them anymore, and the whole Bible's going to be shut down. Do you have anything to do with that? Esau, talking to you.
In and of itself. That's my understanding. I'm sure I'll get tons of emails from people who know more than I do about it.
You don't know shit.
And correcting me on the finer points that I'm missing here, okay? But
you could sure speak on somebody else's behalf. All right? Here it is. You don't know a damn thing what you're saying about a red heifer or ashes on the Temple Mount and all of this shit. You don't know what you're saying, but you sure are pushing a narrative, aren't you? Okay? And that seems to be the way that this very, very important situation, including including genocide, is being handled. You know, you just doing what the fuck you want to do and killing who the hell you want to kill.
Two breaking news pieces that I got for you today are that they found DNA evidence of one of the hostages, female, 19 years old,
Don't believe it. We got to believe your lies.
was being held in a tunnel in Gaza. That's one. That came out right before I went live. The other breaking news is that the UN Security Council voted to call for an immediate and total ceasefire on the part of Israel. They're not calling for a ceasefire on the part of Hamas. And that ceasefire they're calling for is not tied in any way to the release of hostages.
So you expect us to believe that Israel is going to listen to anybody at this point? You're a clown.
The resolution that the United States put forward yesterday was tied to a release of hostages. They were saying it's imperative that we have a ceasefire and that we have the release of hostages. That was vetoed by Russia and Iran, I think, or China, Russia and China. The one that was passed today without objection from the United States. The United States did not veto it. They just abstained. They just stood back and just let it happen, which was an absolute betrayal of Israel. It was throwing Israel under the bus. Don't make any mistake about that. Okay? And it passed. They passed one calling for an immediate ceasefire and had no language regarding the hostages whatsoever. So what they're saying is, we want Israel to stop fighting, even though Hamas has not stopped fighting, and we don't care whether or not the hostages get released or not. So if you extrapolate from that, the message is Hamas has every right to take and hold innocent Israeli women and children hostage. Thank you for that, Greg. Very kind of you. It's saying that Hamas has every right to take and hold hostages from Israel, but Israel does not have the right to defend itself. That is the message of the UN resolution that was passed today. That's the breaking news for you. All right?
Okay, Salakia. So, Shalom, Kahaloya, how about Shemil Shabbat, Shemakakadad. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them to tell us the truth. Shalom and salutations, all the brothers that are pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful like tabernacle of David. To the Aqua that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest, the 144,000, the 1/3, the hopeful elect of Israel, my brother Yeshua. I'm back with the World War III Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you as well. Yeah. I'm going to just get a couple of precepts and go ahead and close out because this is just crazy. All right. Yeah. Amalek, I'm sorry. I'm going to just get this. All right, because these questions have to be answered. Is that the Holy Land? Is that where Jesus walked, Mr. Christian man? And you're on the side of the people that don't believe in Jesus, but they're calling themselves the Jews, which Jesus was a Jew. It's all so convoluted and confusing. Shouldn't it just make perfect sense? But it doesn't. All right. Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. Who is Idumea? Edom, which have appointed my land into their possession. Who did that? You damn Idumean. That's not what I want. This. All right. This is the Most High's land. It's not your land. You guys are stealing it. Again, Yaakov, you're stealing my house. Yaakov, you're stealing my house. Well, if I don't steal it, somebody else is going to steal it, right? Which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Uh, is this Dodo? If I don't steal your home, someone else will. Gotta use this. Salaki, let's read this real quick. Which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their hearts. Here's a visual.
You are stealing my house.
And if I don't steal it, someone else is gonna steal it.
No one is allowed to steal it, يا عمي. Jacob, you know this is not your house.
Yes, but if I go, you don't go back. So what's the problem? What are you yelling at me? I didn't do this. I didn't do this.
But
It's easy to yell at me, but I didn't do this.
you are stealing my house.
It's pretty simple what the fuck is going on. Stop playing. Stop acting like we don't understand that we're not grown-ass adults and we don't understand what the hell is going on. With Ezekiel 36 and 5, I'm reading the NLT. This is what the sovereign Lord says. My jealous anger burns against these nations, especially Edom, because they have shown utter contempt for me by gleefully taking my land for themselves as plunder. We go back here. This guy right here, Yaqub, this devil, stealing, this murderous devil, this is an Edomite, all right? This lady right here, right? This is a Ishmaelite. That's an Ishmaelite. These are not Palestinians. These are not the sons of Ham. So let's get it straight. Edomite, Shemite. Ishmaelite, Shemite. Shemite, okay? None of you belong there, okay? And we know this. And the truth is going to come out, so say what the fuck you got to say, all right? You're fighting over stolen land because the Bible tells us, all right, who's in that land? All right, we know. Right? Who? Edom. Took it. Who else took the land? Where's this at? Show me this in history. Show me where the Edomites took the land of Israel. Show me where that happened before. And I'll show you right now. It's called the Balfour Declaration in 48. Okay? Show me where the Edomites took the land of Israel. All right? I'll show you where they ran Israel up out of there in 70 AD and what they looked like when they left. See, this is what's being hidden. Okay? This is how the Dome of the Rock got put there in the first place. All right? Anyway, we're going to end it right there. Hey, here come the fireworks, man. All right, shalom.